Breaking news. Court documents unsealed this morning reveal Taylor Swift witnessed a brutal confrontation that destroyed her friendship with Blake Lively forever. What Taylor saw in that New York penthouse, it changed everything. And what Blake did to Taylor, unforgivable. This is the betrayal no one saw coming. Hey everyone, welcome back. If you thought the Millie Bobby Brown drama was intense, buckle up, because what just dropped in the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni legal war is next level. We're talking about Taylor Swift, Ryan Reynolds, Hugh Jackman, fat-shaming accusations, a tearful confrontation, and a friendship that imploded when Taylor realized she'd been used as a pawn. Court documents were unsealed today, November 27th, 2025, and they reveal that Taylor Swift and Hugh Jackman were witnesses to Ryan Reynolds absolutely unloading on Justin Baldoni in Blake and Ryan's New York penthouse back in April 2023. But that's not even the craziest part, because what happened after that confrontation, Taylor Swift cut Blake Lively off completely. And sources say Taylor feels used, manipulated, and betrayed. Stick around because we're breaking down the full timeline, from the fat-shaming allegations on the It Ends With Us set, to the explosive penthouse confrontation, to how Blake allegedly weaponized her friendship with Taylor, to why Taylor Swift has had zero contact with Blake since this legal nightmare began. This story has more layers than an onion, and trust me, you're gonna need tissues. Let's start with what just dropped this morning. Newly unsealed court documents in the Blake Lively versus Justin Baldoni legal battle reveal that on April 25th, 2023, Justin Baldoni went to Blake and Ryan's New York City penthouse for what he thought was a routine meeting about the movie It Ends With Us. But what he walked into? An ambush. According to the documents, Ryan Reynolds unloaded on Baldoni, screaming at him about how horrible it was to ask about a woman's weight. Blake and Ryan accused Baldoni of fat-shaming Blake during filming. And Baldoni? He was completely embarrassed, apologized repeatedly, and even cried. But here's the bombshell. Taylor Swift and Hugh Jackman were both in the apartment during this confrontation. They witnessed the entire thing. And according to sources, Taylor had no idea she was walking into this situation. But that's not the full story, because what Blake allegedly did to get Taylor there, that's where this friendship started to crumble. If you're as shocked as I am, hit that like button right now, because this story is insane. And subscribe, because we're covering every twist in this legal drama as it unfolds. Okay, let's rewind to August 2024. It Ends With Us premieres, and immediately there's tension. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni barely interact at the premiere. They don't do press together. Fans notice something is off. Then in December 2024, Blake Lively files a massive lawsuit against Justin Baldoni, alleging sexual harassment and retaliation on the set of It Ends With Us. She claims Baldoni created a toxic work environment, made inappropriate comments, and fat-shamed her during filming. One of Blake's biggest allegations? That Baldoni secretly contacted her personal trainer without her permission to ask about her weight before filming a lift scene. Blake was humiliated. She felt violated. And she claimed this was part of a pattern of Baldoni obsessing over her body. But Baldoni's lawyers fired back. They said he contacted the trainer for a legitimate reason, to avoid injuring his back during a lift scene. He has lifelong back injuries, and he needed to know how much weight he'd be lifting so he could train properly. So who's telling the truth? That's where things get messy, because this is when Blake allegedly started weaponizing her famous friends. Here's where Taylor Swift enters the picture, and according to sources close to Taylor, she was manipulated into this situation. TMZ previously reported that Blake told Taylor to come to her penthouse at a specific time in April 2023. But Blake allegedly didn't tell Taylor that Justin Baldoni would be there. Blake allegedly timed the meeting so that Taylor would arrive right as Baldoni was leaving. Think about that. Taylor thought she was just visiting her friend. She had no idea she was walking into a confrontation between Blake, Ryan, and Justin Baldoni. She didn't know she was being used as leverage. When Taylor arrived, Baldoni was about to leave after a 2-hour meeting where Ryan had already torn into him. Taylor was introduced to Baldoni for the first and only time, and according to sources, all Taylor said was that she was excited to see It Ends With Us, because Baldoni was her friend's boss. But here's the thing. Blake allegedly wanted Taylor there to send a message to Baldoni, to show him that Blake had powerful friends, friends who could make his life very difficult. And what happened next? It gets even worse. Because Blake didn't just use Taylor once. She tried to weaponize Taylor's name again and again. Drop a comment right now telling me if you think Blake crossed the line. Did she use Taylor, or was Taylor just being a supportive friend? I'm reading every comment. Fast forward to January 2025. Justin Baldoni files a $400 million countersuit against Blake and Ryan. And in that lawsuit, he makes a shocking claim. He says Blake referred to Ryan Reynolds and Taylor Swift as her dragons, as in her protectors, her weapons, her way of intimidating him. Baldoni's lawsuit stated, quote, "The message could not have been clearer. Baldoni was not just dealing with Lively. He was also facing Lively's dragons, two of the most influential and wealthy celebrities in the world, who were not afraid to make things very difficult for him." Think about that. Blake allegedly viewed Taylor Swift and Ryan Reynolds as her attack dogs, not as friends, not as support, as weapons to use against Justin Baldoni. And when Taylor found out about this, sources say she was furious, because Taylor Swift cherishes genuine friendships. She's fiercely loyal to her friends, but she does not tolerate being used, and that's exactly what Blake allegedly did. In February 2025, a source told Page Six that Taylor Swift feels used by Blake Lively. The source said, quote, "Taylor really wishes Blake hadn't dragged her into this whole situation. They have been friends for years, and Taylor cherishes genuine friendships, but she can't help but feel used at this point." And it gets worse. In October 2025, another source told Page Six that Taylor and Blake have had no contact since the legal drama began last year. Zero. Nothing. The friendship is over. Think about how close they were. Taylor and Blake were at Chiefs games together. They attended the Super Bowl together. Blake's kids were at Taylor's concerts. They were best friends. And now, radio silence. And when Justin Baldoni's lawyers tried to subpoena Taylor Swift in May 2025, Taylor's rep released a scathing statement, making it crystal clear that Taylor wanted nothing to do with this case. Her rep said, "Taylor Swift never set foot on the set of this movie. She was not involved in any casting or creative decisions. She did not score the film. She never saw an edit. She did not even see 'It Ends With Us' until weeks after its public release." Translation? Taylor is saying, "I was never involved in this movie. Stop dragging my name into your mess." And now, with today's Unsealed documents, we find out that Hugh Jackman was also in that apartment during the April 2023 confrontation. So it wasn't just Taylor who witnessed Ryan Reynolds tearing into Justin Baldoni. Hugh Jackman saw it too. Blake and Justin's trial is set for March 2026. And Taylor Swift, Hugh Jackman, Emily Blunt, and Gigi Hadid are all listed as potential witnesses. But here's the thing. Taylor does not want to testify. She wants to stay as far away from this case as possible, because in Taylor's mind, she was manipulated, she was used, and she's done. So here's your takeaway. Number 1, Blake Lively allegedly weaponized her friendship with Taylor Swift to intimidate Justin Baldoni. Number 2, Taylor Swift felt used and has cut Blake off completely. Number 3, this legal battle is far from over, and it's going to trial in March 2026. I want to hear from you. Team Taylor or Team Blake? Do you think Blake crossed the line, or was Taylor overreacting? Drop your thoughts below, and if you made it this far, you're a real one. Hit that like button, subscribe for more celebrity drama, and share this with your Swiftie friends. This story is wild, and it's only getting messier. I'll see you in the next one.